finished my book. I finished it. My second draft is complete. Hello, by the way. I am E. Hadley Wright, so this is my YouTube channel. Welcome to the party. I had a goal to finish the second draft of my novel, contemporary romance novel, by the end of February, and I finished writing it on January 22nd. So blew that out of the water. I was in doubt that I'd even be able to finish it by the end of February, to be honest, because there was a middle bit there that was just like pulling teeth to get through, but you just have to keep powering through those hard bits. If it's the story that's hard, you just have to keep writing it. You just have to keep trying, and it'll be slow and it'll be hard and it'll be like, why am I even doing this? What's the point? It's gonna take me so long. You're gonna hit a point where you get past it. I was really struggling through that for a while until what I call the finishing energy manifested. I don't know. It was a lot of things. My schedule allowed for it was one thing. I had a 4-day weekend, one weekend, and my family, my husband and my kids went off to an event that was pre-planned, and they were gone for an entire day and most of the night, and I got a lot done in that day. I think I wrote 4 or 5 chapters that day and was able to finish it that weekend. I don't know. But there's this thing I call finishing energy, and that I felt every single time I've been close to the end of a draft. I honestly wasn't expecting it for this because it's a second draft. It's the same story that I finished already once, even though there were a lot of big gaps because I knew I had structural things I had to change around, and that would change the context of these certain scenes. So I would focus on like the conversation, the emotional core of the scene, and like leave the rest out. I did that on a couple of them, and just one of them was even just like a summary of what happens. It was even in third person when it's a first person book. So there was some of that going on. It was kind of a messy first draft, which I don't prefer. I did not do myself any favors with that, but if that works for you, it works for you. I'm not saying don't do that. I just don't prefer it. I don't think. I will probably try to be a little, do the hard work up front than leaving it for myself later on. But it gets done. Eventually it gets done. But yeah, it did. I got to the third act. I cried through several scenes that I wasn't really expecting to hit me very hard, but as I was just like, oh man, you get into the deep stuff of, you know, that part of the book that's just like the hard stuff, the big lessons, the things that's like the crux of everything, and it's hard stuff. And I feel like it's a good sign that it was that emotional for me to get through, that hopefully will land also with the readers in a similar way. I don't want people weeping, but you know, hopefully they'll be able to feel that heart there. And at that point, I was just like so locked in. By finishing energy, I get to this like manic place almost where I can't focus on other things. I have trouble sleeping. Like it's just, I can't get it out of my head until I get it down on paper. And yeah, that's what happened. And I just was constantly, every free minute I had was working on my book until I finished it. And I immediately printed it out. I texted a couple of my writing friends and printed out my book. Here it is. That's the title, All Roads Home. I just made this quick little cover in Canva to print out. These are like bookbinding ring things for flashcards or something. But yeah, here it is. Here it is, my book baby. 285 pages. My printer doesn't do double-sided, so it'll be good for note-taking. Ouch. Stuck in my hair there. But yeah, I'm excited. I have not read it. I finished it. It's now the 30th of January, so it's been over a week now since I finished, almost 2 weeks. And I'm taking a break. I'm taking the first break I've had from this story since I had a big portion of it. I guess I started it when I was on maternity leave with my little baby, and that's when I started it, and I did have to stop. Once I started to work with a baby and 2 other children, I was not writing for like a year and a half until like this last summer is when I really got back into it, because there's just, yeah, there are seasons. There are seasons, and if you're a mama, God bless you. It is hard work. But yeah, I'm back at it. I'm not quitting. And this is what happens when you just keep going. You keep going, and eventually you have a book. My plan moving forward is to take this break from my story, get a little bit of distance that I didn't take between drafts 1 and 2, and then I'm going to jump in with a big fat read through of this book, the printout. I'm going to try to wear my critical reader cap while I do that, and make a lot of notes if I can of things I think of while I'm reading. I think that's going to be hard to do, like stay in the critical reader mindset and also make notes, but I don't know. I'm going to have to feel that part out. I haven't done this part yet before in my writing process. This is as far as I've ever been on a book as far as sharing it out with the world. So it's exciting, but it's also kind of like new ground. So I am an intuitive person. I follow my intuition a lot. So I'm going to feel that out and not like give myself a strict set of guidelines on how to move forward. But I'm going to do the read through. I've heard others actually do 2 read throughs, one through a physical copy or an ebook, which I obviously have the physical copy, and then once in Scrivener, leaving actual comments next to it. So that's kind of what I'm going to feel out if I feel like I need to just read this straight through like an actual reader without making all the notes, and then do another read through with my editing cap on, like straight through instead of 1 chapter at a time. And I might add that step, so there might be 2 read throughs before the big editing pass next time. But I think it's pretty clean now. There are a couple of things I need to pay attention to, but it's really just refining and not revision. Yeah, so it's sitting at right at 100,000 words. It's like 100,536 words or something like that, which I'm comfortable with. I don't feel like I need to chop 20,000 words out of there. I think it's a pretty comfortable range for a contemporary romance / women's fiction novel. I was afraid it would be in the like 110, 120,000 word area, and that had me a little anxious, but it all worked out. I actually did end up revising the ending. I cut it off like a scene and a half earlier than planned, and I think it's perfect. I'm excited. I feel like when you're just locked into the end, things just come to you. Like problems solve themselves in some ways. And yeah, I'm just so happy. I'm so proud of this story. It is, it's a good one. It's a good one, and I can't wait for people to read it. Once I get through that next round of revision, which I think is just going to be more refining, not like major overhaul. So I'm not planning for that to take more than a month or so, maybe far less than that. But again, I haven't done this before, so I think it's, putting an estimate on it isn't a priority for me. I don't have to stick to any timeline, so I'm not going to stress about that. But after that, I'm hoping to send it to some beta readers, but I'm going to need some beta readers. So if you have any advice on finding them, or if you feel interested in reading my small town second chance romance manuscript, 100,000 words, it's a big commitment, but I would love to have you. If you're interested, I will leave my email down below. My socials are down there as well. Just reach out and we can work something out. And yes, I'm so excited. I wish everyone good luck on your own projects. keep going, keep plugging away. It will happen eventually. You will get to the end, and it is an indescribable, wonderful feeling. I'm talking like this is like actually finished, but I mean, it feels like a huge accomplishment, and I'm not going to belittle that, right? So yeah, good luck with all of you. Don't forget to like the video if you haven't yet. Subscribe if you want to, I don't know, hang out with me. And we'll talk to you next time. See ya.